So here's the situation. 3 months ago, I set up this gorgeous elevated raised bed from Vego Garden. I filled it with herbs and marigolds, and I thought that was it. But turns out there was a volunteer tomato plant. It was so tiny, I figured, let it grow. And then, before I knew it again, there was this cucumber plant that came right out of nowhere. And of course, you can't kill a cucumber plant now, can you? So I let them both grow, but I didn't take into account that I am going to need something to trellis this thing. Fortunately, Vego Garden does have a trellising system and they sent it to me, and today I'm going to set it up. However, it is going to be interesting to see how we can set it up with this practically overflowing planter. Hey folks, if we haven't met before, my name is Tara and I garden in the Bay Area, and I'm lately on a raised elevated bed kick because they are just so much easier on the back. And if they are like this Easy Cube from Vego Garden, they even have a self-watering system which lets me go on vacation for a few days without worrying about my plants burning in the California heat. But today we're going to be setting up a trellis on this other raised bed, and let's see if we can do it with minimal effort. First, a little bit about this raised bed. Now, this is a galvanized raised bed, so it is going to last pretty much forever. But the nicest thing about it is it has got these wheels, so I can actually move it and install the trellis without having to really try to squeeze in behind there and do things, which is not going to be comfortable. So I've never had the need to move this planter before, though I have tried, and it moves like a dream. Unlike this cedar craft planter that I got from Costco, it does have wheels, but gosh, I've tried to move it and the bottom self-watering thing almost fell out. So yeah, not exactly something that I would attempt to move, but this one is going to be really, really easy. First, take a look at this planter, you guys. 3 months, little over 3 months. It just had a bunch of tiny seedlings in it. These marigolds were so little, and I had all kinds of herbs: parsley, basil, oregano, cilantro, chamomile, which is dying, by the way. It's not the season for it anymore. And this delicious arugula. This is wild arugula, so it can take the heat and it just keeps growing and it tastes delicious, just like arugula. So yeah, this thing is overflowing. The parsley, oh my goodness, I really need to do some harvesting. But in the meanwhile, I want to put up the trellis for this tomato plant, this volunteer, which is now probably about 5 feet tall. Hey, why do volunteer tomato plants usually always turn out to be cherry tomatoes, you guys? I don't know. I wish it was something else. And this one here looks like an Armenian cucumber. Now, it's going to grow much faster. It's a very young plant. I want to actually remove that fruit that's growing there because that will help the plant actually bulk up a little bit, and I got to give it some fertilizer and then maybe it'll produce much more effectively. But I'm not actually giving it a lot of energy right now because I want to install the trellis first and then let it go crazy. All right, so the first thing that you want to do is lay out all the parts. It's pretty intuitive how this thing is going to fit together if you just look at the picture. So I'm going to try and do it pretty much without the manual. And I've got this cover system. This is insect netting, could function as shade cloth as well. And I won't be using that today because I don't think I can fit any shade cloth on that thing. And plus, I don't need it right now. It's close enough to my house and does get afternoon shade, so I don't think I'm going to be needing it. However, I will be using it when I pull these out and put my winter veggies in. Okay, let's shimmy down here to the back and show you how this Easy Cube planter is doing. Literally just a few weeks ago, less than a month ago is when I put it up. So let me show you how things are growing in it. It is growing phenomenal. Yeah, so those of you that were following along when I set this planter up a few weeks ago, you know that I planted 2 dwarf tomatoes. They have really set root and they are taking off. And I've got a Peruvian pepper here. I've got some lovely little bean seedlings interspersed here and there. And I just couldn't help myself. I went ahead and planted some cucumber seedlings and some tiger melon seedlings. So I have really packed this thing in. Of course, I've got my marigolds. I threw in some creeping verbena, and I am keeping this thing quite full most of the time. I actually added some fertilizer to the water as well because I figured that with that many plants, it's going to need a lot of nutrients. Now, this thing is not part of the Vego Garden setup, this little hanging basket, but I figured it'll look pretty. Plus, it was sitting right there in front of my raised elevated bed that I'm going to put the trellis up on, and I did not want it coming in the way. So I moved them over to the side. There were two of them hanging here. Anyway, let's go ahead and set up this trellis, shall we? Okay, first things first, let's move that elevated raised bed forward. I'm doing this for the first time after it's this full, so you're going to see it happening while I try to do it. So let's hope I don't make a fool of myself, but I have a feeling it's going to move pretty smoothly. All right, let's do this. Make sure the wheels are not locked, which they are not. Oh, I forgot to disconnect the watering system. Let me do that first. All right, let's try again. Just one hand. That's all I need to move this thing forward. Just amazing. All right, let's go around and start setting up the trellis. So I did read that there are some silicone tabs here that I need to remove right there, because that's where we're going to be putting up our trellis. Let's try the first piece. Okay, we are done installing it, and the wonderful smell of the herbs, you guys, the oregano, the arugula, while I was putting this up, just can't be described. But I will tell you, I really wish I read the manual for a couple of reasons. Number one, as you insert those horizontal pieces, one of the things that the manual says is don't make it too tight right away, because then you won't be able to slide the pieces in. And I made it really tight, and I had to go around loosening everything just to get the pieces in. The second thing was the back braces that you see over there. Well, I forgot all about them, so I had to go ahead and remove all the screws from the back so that I could put the back braces on. So yeah, read the manual. It's really worth it and saves you a lot of time. Now, one thing I'm going to do is, before I push it back or slide it back easily into its slot, I am going to do a little bit of pruning and trimming, because I think it's looking a little messy in the back, and I just want to take care of it when I can. Yeah, so here's the messy back. I'm going to go ahead and remove all of this chamomile and trim back some of the oregano and get some parsley and have a nice little harvest. But before I do that, you guys, I am a Vego Garden affiliate, and if you use my code GREENLOVE, you will get $10 off your entire purchase. And do use my affiliate link. It's in the description. All right, let's do some cleanup. This chamomile, I really wish I harvested it more. I don't know why I put it in the back where it was a little bit difficult to access. And this oregano here is completely gone to flower, so I'm going to give it a nice hard prune. Just like that. I've got some throatwort here. Look at those pretty flowers, you guys. Unfortunately, I gave that a hard prune as well, but that's okay. It will grow back. It's a perennial as well, so it's one of those pretty things that grows really well in my hot, dry California climate. Look at all that oregano. It's non-stop. And finally, let's give the parsley a little bit of a haircut. This will be so good in falafel. That's one of my favorite ways to use parsley, is to make falafels. Delicious herb and so healthy. Look at all that parsley. I've got curly leaf and Italian parsley, and it's all going to just grow right back. I don't cut it more than about a third, because I want to leave some leaves on for photosynthesis, and then it just grows a lot faster when you don't cut it down too hard. Now, I already harvested my cilantro seeds. I think I've still got a few over here. I'm going to leave them to dry out because I love to save seeds. The seeds are delicious as well. We use it a lot in our Indian cooking. It's called coriander, but I don't have that much over here, and I'm going to save it for next year, because the seeds that you save from plants that you grow just grow better in your garden. So that's a huge harvest, mostly parsley. The oregano I'm going to spread around my plants. It's a great pest deterrent, so use it as mulch. Don't throw it away. This one was mostly gone to seed, so I don't want to save it to dry it, but it is a great pest deterrent. So that's a great way to use your overgrown oregano. Now they also provide us with these S hooks that you can hang at the back. So I can leave my scissors over here, so next time I can harvest more regularly. You can hang your trowel, your hori tool, whatever, on those S hooks, and I think that's a nice little innovative touch. All right, let's slide this back, and I'll put my irrigation back in. Really, it was as simple as that. So follow along and I will show you how I transition this into my fall garden, and we will put up the cover system. So this is going to come in really, really handy when I transition this to my fall garden. I'm planting broccoli, cauliflower, whatever I decide to plant, especially those brassicas are just prone to that white butterfly caterpillar. So this is going to be really helpful to keep those away. And Vego Garden also sent me these ripple lights, and I tried them already. They look really pretty at night. So thank you, Vego Garden. And happy 5th birthday to Vego Garden, a wonderful, innovative company with super high quality products. I wouldn't recommend them otherwise. Thanks for watching, you guys, and until next time, live green and love your greens. I forgot to harvest the cucumber. My first cucumber of the season. It's bitter. I don't know what cucumber that is, but I thought it was an Armenian cucumber. It's not. Ew.